Vlog time again. Space Invaders t-shirt tonight. So last night's vlog was a little bit emotional. It had been a rough day. It's been a much better day today. And I'm packing for my weekend to Sea Lake for an astronomy weekend. It's one of the events we've organised for the members of the Astronomical Society of Victoria, which I'm a member of, and it's actually a weekend I've organised with the guys from the astrophotography section. And I'm packing, so I just wanted to sort of show you guys some of the things that I'm taking with me. I'll be taking technology. These, my binoculars, but really I should be looking at. Yeah, a bit silly. Yes, I'll take some binoculars with me. You never know if you need them. I'm taking my tripod, which is not here. I left it at Melbourne Observatory. Got someone picking it up on Friday for me, so that's okay. Taking the telescope, the big one. I'll show you in a second. You've seen it already, but I'll show you anyway. I will be taking, not the headband. I'll be taking this little dude here, this little dew heater that's going to go around the eyepiece and keep the eyepiece warm in the cold weather. I've got one at the other end of the telescope. And a whole lot of bits and pieces. I'm also going to take my Star Adventurer with me and try and use that as well. And I have this little dude that goes on the mount of the Star Adventurer. I'll show you the Star Adventurer in a second. But this little dude that goes on top of it, so that's coming with me. And other than a whole lot of bits and pieces that I have down in there, some tools, some Allen keys, this little doobie like a thing, and some nuts and bolts. Got some filters. I have a really cool filter actually, which I might use while I'm up there just for a bit of fun. Have a grading. You see how it's very. Ooh, you can see prisms. So this is a star analyzer. It is a, which one is it? Star Analyzer 100, and it is used for spectroscopy, which I'll talk about in another video next week, because I'm going to actually do some spectroscopy while I'm away. I have a whole lot of other bits and pieces. I have case, TeleVue case for the eyepiece. I have a whole lot of other eyepieces. There's another 3 down there. I hardly use any of those. I don't know why I take them, but I do. You never know who might need a spare eyepiece as well, so always good to have them. Got a couple of Barlows for when it's planetary season. So yeah, and a few other. So here is my little tray that they all sit in. Everything sits in there. All my little bits and pieces. Whole lot of. Whoa, what's going on there? There we go. Let's fix this up, shall we? Bear with me a second. I think I need to fix my cables up. My cable management is horrific. A lot like my short-term memory. It's just shit. So I got to fix that up. So I'll fix that up later tonight. Just put it down out of the way for now. Well, what's going on there? What am I beating up? Oh, I'm beating up something. Yeah. My barbecue cover. This is actually quite an important thing to take with me, because if it's going to rain and I want to leave my gear out, I can cover the telescope in this and know it's safe. It's not going to get wet. Now, the other thing, as I said, I was going to take is my Star Adventurer, which is, that's not it. That's the mount that the Skywatcher Star Adventurer goes on. That is the Star Adventurer, which I manually polar align, and every time I do it, I have to, look through this little thing and let's unlock it first. And got to look through it and twist the thing around, and oh yeah, there's stuff there, that's it there. And but what I do is I use, now that I've got the Samsung, I use the Google Pixel 5 on this and do Milky Way shots, which I'd love to do one out at Lake Tyrrell, which is part of the reason I want to take this, set it up at Lake Tyrrell and just let it run. And then, so you just put this on and, so I can rotate it around and, so it's sort of sitting there and get that going and, have it sort of sitting, and then all of a sudden it's throughout the night, it's just slowly moving around, and the phone mount sits on there and the phone sits in there, and so I'm taking that as well. There is a tripod for it, it's in the other room somewhere. So that's a bit of a look at the gear that I have and what I'm taking with it. Real funny one actually. When I first started doing astrophotography, I had an Orion short tube, which is a lot smaller than this telescope, and it was on the Star Adventurer. That was my telescope and my mount, and I would manually move it to the objects. But in order to, when I went to the ED80 and I still had the Star Adventurer, I needed a heavier weight, and the one that comes with the Star Adventurer is this little thing. That's it. So I was being a tight ass because I'm a tight ass astronomer, or cheapskate astronomer. What I did was I went and got, what is it, a 1.25 kilo weight, which I slid on there, and I had this little bolt system that locked in there and locked it in place. It gave me the extra weight to counterbalance the telescope and everything that was on the telescope. So yeah, that is all of the gear. When I pack this thing down tomorrow night, what I'll do is I'll do your video and run through everything that's on this one that I use on the actual telescope with the mount, and how it all goes together. But yeah, so that's everything I'm taking to Sea Lake with you. Oh, take some gaffer tape. Take some sports kinesiology tape, not for my body, for sticking things around that I might need to stick around. And I will take the Peltier cooler, but I won't use it, but I'll take it just because I like to keep everything together. So yeah, bit of a video about all the bits and pieces that I've got other pieces of bits of equipment, but nothing that I'm actually specifically taking this weekend for. What I'm hoping is going to be a nice, lovely weekend of sitting under clear skies. Fingers crossed. But until the next video, I'll see you then.